Welcome back to another Let's Play 1001 Games, the series where I work my way through a book called 1001 Games You Must Play Before You Die. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today is actually a very special Let's Play. I'm doing a brief follow-up to the Civilization video that I made earlier. So, when I made that video, it was quite a long video, nearly an hour. And I think I said it would be fun to kind of come back if I had played off camera for a while, just to see where the Germans had ended up and what trouble they got themselves into. So if you recall, originally we started off in Europe. We quickly invaded. What's going on here? We quickly invaded the Russians who were to the east of us, and the Germans kind of expanded. We started to go down into Africa. We didn't find too much, but we had developed a relatively large civilization by the time we left, but there was nothing left to do but administer. And that's kind of really boring gameplay to watch. So I decided I would give that stuff a try off camera, and then we'd come back when sort of some action had returned. So let's return to Europe and see where things are these days. And as you can see, things are much more developed. I think this was all just grasslands last time we saw it. Burgerland, are they? No, they'll be okay. Our cities are much bigger. We're no longer a monarchy. We are now a democracy, which is really the best government in civilization. It gives you the biggest science bonuses. You need to have big cities to support things, and it's really hard to wage war as a democracy, but you can do it, and it's worth it. So yeah, if you look around, Kiev was one Russian city we'd conquered. We never renamed it. And Vegas is new. Megacity 01 is new. The Fortress is new. I expanded here and really developed this land. I even went out here and I found, lo and behold, those pesky Russians. I didn't actually wipe them out. I thought they only had a city or two. I left them for thousands of years, actually. A couple thousand years. And they actually expanded. Look. They have a mini empire here. And not only that, they've attacked. I created a really far off outpost city here. My last turn, they just attacked it, and they wiped all of its defense out. So I switched it to a musketeer. I think it's too late. They're going to capture that. And they're going to take something good, unfortunately. They've had phalanxes and cavalry, and I'm up to cannons. It's the 1700s, late 1700s. I was trying to get tanks by the 1800s because I thought that'd be cool. I had the option to research nuclear weapons, which imagine having nukes in the 1700s. I mean, that would have been insane. I didn't go with nukes though because they're a little less practical. They just trash the environment, and they didn't want to do that. What else? What else did I do? I expanded down here. There's Zuckerland. I figure Mark Zuckerberg owns this place. I mean, you got to give the guy his own city, right? And the English are definitely here. I keep seeing boats and stuff. I haven't done anything. Oh, and the other big thing that happened was that the Aztec civilization fell. So I don't know if this is going to show up at all. I don't know. Can you guys see that? If you can't see it, what I'm basically showing is I did a screen capture. The Aztec Empire fell. Somebody conquered its capital. I don't know who, but it basically split their empire. And so for a long time, the Aztecs were actually number one. They were doing quite well compared to me. They were building all these wonders of the world. I mean, the Germans definitely are the most expansive. So they have the biggest empire and the most people and the biggest army and all that. But the Aztecs had all the wonders. And now that's all split. So if we look at the world, say the top 5 cities. Aztec. Oh, okay. I guess it didn't really make that big of a difference. The Aztecs are kicking my butt. Look at that. Look at that. But if you go to the demographics, we're first on a lot of things. Most population, most land area, highest literacy rate. We're very scientific. We're second on disease. Probably the Aztecs have us beat there. The Aztecs probably have us beat on approval ratings too. And actually, we're doing really bad for life expectancy. Family size first is low good. I don't know. Military, we do have an army. We're we're war-minded. We're war-minded. So we're not definitively the best in the world, but you know how you get to be the best? You knock out your rivals. And so the easiest way to become number one is let's take out number 2 and 3. So the Russians have been causing me problems. So to hell with it. They opened up a can of worms that they are not going to be happy about. You take one of my cities, I'm going to take 2 of yours. I'm like Hydra. For every head you cut off, 2 more will take its place. So I'm sending my cannons down. I really actually wanted tanks before I got into war mode again, but clearly it's just taking too long. Our empire is actually kind of going broke. Yeah, what did they take? Gunpowder. They took the absolute best thing that I had. I'm not going to meet with him because he might suggest peace, and because I'm a democracy, I'd have to take it. And I don't want that. Oh, great. The government collapsed. I was trying to avoid that. Vegas builds an aqueduct, which is good. Let's keep things going. The annoying thing with this game is when the government collapses, it takes several turns to come back, and it's just a big old pain. You want to avoid collapsing your government, actually. Who knew? It wasn't good for business. Starting a new city, this would be New India. Man. New India. It's the New India. In the 1700s. Pilgrims showed up, colonized it, all that. I also have a huge network. Oops, I'm doing it again. A huge network of roads that I've built up to try to get my guys across the world. It's a real pain that like this is my main manufacturing hub, and like the war is happening way over here because it takes so many turns to get over there. I just want to kill the Russians. Oh yeah. Well, I took one of their cities. Let's see if we can steal some technology from them. Feudalism. That's useless, but sure. Yeah, you want to build musketeers. See, I built roads from my city to theirs so that when time for invasion was going to show up, I'd be able to swoop in with my troops. I did the same thing over here. So they shouldn't last too long. Now the trick is, as I think I said last time, you want to do all this quick. You don't want to be lingering around when you're declaring war on someone. Now that's risky, moving my cannon right there. Because if he has anything, he can attack, and the cannon has a really crappy defense, so it's a gamble. But I have cannons to spare. I'm not worried about that. So in playing this game off camera, I think I realized just how big of a gap there is between Civilization 1 and 2. There is so much administration you have to do in this one. It's cumbersome. It's just difficult. Actually, settlers will settle this land. It takes so long to do anything. And I mean, I was expecting that. I didn't realize how slow it would go to actually do this. And like, I did all this development. I spent a couple hours playing, building up all the stuff, and then I got rid of all the settlers so I wouldn't have to deal with them. There's a couple that are sleeping. I just don't even want to bother dealing with them because I don't know what to have them do. But even though I'm just focusing on building an army, it takes so many turns. So I built something here. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like 8 turns before it can actually be used. That's insane. It's just so long. And I mean I understand why it takes that long, but from a gameplay perspective, it just slows everything down. Obviously, slows it down by 8 turns. And you know what? I never even went into Africa. Too much of a hassle. Barbarians keep coming into Africa, and I mean, as far as I can tell, no one's in there. No one else has ever come out. So I just built Zucker land there to guard it. And to heck with Africa. There's no, I mean, as I said, it's not a real great development area. There's not a lot of really good resources. All right, here we go. Vladivostok. You anger me. And I don't like you. More soldiers. We were a democracy. Now we're just some crazy despot's war machine. We don't mind though. We're Germans. We're used to it. That must be culturally insensitive. I shouldn't say things like that. I take it back. So many reasons why you might be sensitive to that. I didn't mean anything by it. Just a guy playing some Civilization. Happened to be German. I would have been Greek. Actually, the Greeks are pretty good too. They're pretty scientific. Okay. We're making them pay for taking that territory of mine. They want to meet with me. I'm still saying no. Because I don't want to risk ending up in a peace treaty with them because I just want to kill them. Especially now that they have gunpowder, they're going to start building musketeers to defend themselves. And then that's a big pain. Wow. Speak of the devil. They have a musketeer in there, and he literally defended them. Trouble, 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 trouble. So the Aztecs are kicking my butt in terms of development. But they ain't got a war machine like me. It's going to take forever for these cannons to get over there. We're going to try it. We'll see. And I don't even know if I should be building cannons here. Build Magellan's expedition. Why not? Is there unsettled stuff? Why am I not switching back to a democracy? Whatever. I'm just going to destroy that city. I won't have a chance to capture it. Again, I prefer to capture their cities because I'm greedy in terms of this game. I want to expand. Damn it. Well, that's the opposite of what I was hoping to happen. Gotta send more troops out there. If I could just become a democracy. Hurry up. Papa needs his government. So the democracy in Civilization, as I said, it's basically the best. It makes you very, very rich culturally. It makes war very costly, though, which is the downside to it. And, I mean, it's the price you pay. The fact that you can develop technology and your economy so fast, though, is a huge benefit. Definitely outweighs the detriment of war being expensive. Now, is that a fair depiction of the world? I don't know. Plato definitely didn't think so. He didn't think democracy was all that. He wanted the philosopher king, which I kind of agree with. I mean, the democracy is a big popularity contest. That's what that is. And yeah, it's the best thing we have so far. But philosopher king is people who don't want to rule, the ones who should rule. Sounds counterintuitive, but think about it. All the people who've done bad things as leaders is because they wanted to be in charge. People who really want to be in charge, maybe they're not the people who really should be. They're too. What's the words I'm looking for? They're too greedy in a way. They're too much like me. I mean, look, would you want me in charge of the Germans? Look what I did with them. Turn them into a band of murderous. Just wiping their cities out. That's right. Guess what? So when I re-encountered the Russians, They were actually pretty aggressive. They declared war on me and started attacking nowhere. They, as I said, they took my city here. They were actually pretty mean, and they kept encountering me. They kept calling a meeting and demanding I pay them a tribute, right? As if that's ever going to happen. And so they're kind of getting what's coming to them. I mean, I guess you could say I started it, which is totally true. All I do in this game is declare war, but they could have been the bigger empire. They could have let bygones be bygones. I think they know me better than that, though. They've had encounters with Jatopia. Burgerland. There's too much discontent. People are going to start starving. I don't care, though. The glory, the golden age of German democracy is over. We're like very corrupt now. All we care about is destroying the Russians. Look at this. Look at all the famine we've got. That city's going to shrink. We can always build it back up after the Russians aren't a threat. So I'm not worried about that. And look, they're even celebrating We Love the Present Day at the fortress. Which, you know, if you have a war-minded president, then if you live in a place like the fortress, you probably would celebrate him. Yeah. I mean, you're never going to support settlers. So I don't know. Do whatever you want. This is where an auto build would be handy. Just govern yourselves. Come on, people. What do you guys think is the best form of government? You think Plato was onto something, the philosopher king? So basically, if you could have someone who... I guess the idea with the philosopher king is by someone who doesn't want to rule, they won't be swayed by personal ambition. They won't be driven by power. They won't become corrupt. Because there's that old saying, government collapses. Whatever. I'm through being a democracy. These people had their chance. They couldn't just let one war go on. They had to complain. Well, guess what? We're not going to be a democracy anymore. Imagine that happened in real life. If America went to war for too long, then all of a sudden it wasn't it. Well, I guess some people would make the claim maybe America isn't a democracy. They have been at war for many things. Funds are running low. I don't care. We're going out in a blaze of glory. I brought everyone back to see this glorious war with the Russians. My empire is embarrassing me. Because it's taking a long time, and there's just nonstop newspaper articles about how bad of a leader I am. Famine, political unrest. Look at everything I did. You were nothing but a band of roaming nomads. You have this glorious civilization. I mean, Jatopia is really shrinking there. Glory days of the peaceful German Empire are over. Again, nothing but war-minded now. And that's okay. I think we have enough cannons kind of rolling in here that the Russians are going to be in serious, serious trouble soon. And then we'll see what's what. So what do you guys think is the best form of government? And do you think that power corrupts? Because I guess that's the whole idea of the philosopher king is people who seek power are not those who can be trusted with it. Getting all philosophical here. This is becoming a very deep game of civilization. What do you guys think the meaning of political power is? Like that thing in Game of Thrones where they say, a rich man, a king, and a priest all ask a sellsword to kill the other two. And who does the sellsword pick? And that whole sort of puzzle is there to illustrate that Really, it's the sellsword who has the power, not the king, not the priest, and not the rich man. Which is very interesting, I think. Very good illustration of why power does not always reside with those who you think have power. Such an arbitrary concept. Let's get even more philosophical. How deep can we get here? There's your stinking city, Russians. What was Zimbabwe doing over... Okay, that's confusing. So in the last video, I deduced with my mad deduction skills that the Russians had taken over the Zulus. And I assumed that the Zulus would be in Africa. But they weren't. They were over here. They must have been... So in civilization, if a civilization dies off early on, the computer will start up another one to take its place, and will randomly place that new civilization. So Zimbabwe's must have been a B team that came in after the fact. Granaries. I mean, who cares what we build these days? I don't know. Build cannons. More cannon! You know when something is like legitimate, why do they call it canon? Like where'd that term come from, and why is it called canon? Like you'd say Tony Stark is Iron Man's name, and that's canon. Okay, well, but why canon? Don't get that term. Okay, I think the Russians are on death's door. They poke the bear. I want to show you guys what happens after we're in a relatively safe zone. I'm going to show you what. So right now I'm just running the empire into the ground so that I can wage this war of mine. Once it's over, we're going to make it up to the people. Trust me. Everyone's going to love us. They're going to be happy we went to war. I have a trick or two up my sleeves called political maneuvering. And you just watch. Like, look at these cities right now. Sort of mentally keep track. They're all below 8. Awesome Town and Burgerland are doing well. So is Gameopolis. But everything else is actually kind of below 10. Definitely below 8. Just wait. That's going to change. Okay, you can stop now. Smolensk is ours. They're the German troops rolling into Smolensk. How do you say that? Whatever. But a market. Nope. Still don't want to talk to you because I'm still afraid you're going to sue for peace. And honestly, I can't be bothered with you Russians. War is all we know. It's all we know. Alright. Let's see. Burgerland has a granary. Rather, I had an In-N-Out burger. You run out of stuff to build eventually. Alright, where are we? Somebody built Magellan's expedition? I never thought that would complete. Like, what do I build now? A granary? Yeah, famine. Famine really doesn't concern me, though. Because I know my people are stronger than that. Damn it. I don't think this new democracy that I just formed is really going to last till the end of the war. We'll see, though. Yeah, it's going to be at least another turn. And can my democracy stand up to that? good question. Let's see. It's going to be at least another turn. I can't even be bothered to try to appease these people. Like, some people are celebrating my existence and others are just downright despising me. I'm skipping through all this stuff just to try to make something happen in this Let's Play. Come on. We must conquer Zimbabwe. This is the end game. This is what everyone tuned in to see, the fall of Russian Zimbabwe. Did you ever expect to see Zimbabwe run by the Russians? I did not. We have magnetism, steam it. Look, we can get the atomic theory right now. Let's get it. Let's get nukes. The Russians are bugging me. This war is going on too long. Ugh. Like, okay, I show up with cannons and you have phalanx. Give me a break. Just die already. Hey, vey. What can we do to these Russians to make them pay for wasting all this time? Order restored. You know, the more you play Civilization, the more you skip all the messages. I'm just skipping everything. I don't even care. Because it just takes so long to, like, actually read everything. I'm sure the first couple times you play, probably you're very meticulous, paying attention to everything. I don't care these days. Play enough Civilization and you just want to get to the action. Oh, they just lost the war. We took Zimbabwe, and that's how we do. Tell me that was it. Tell me there are no more Russians. God, there's more Russians. Well, we may not worry about that. You know, in Civilization 2, there's a cheat mode you can use to see the whole world. I guess I shouldn't use cheat modes and things like that. Oh, they're down there somewhere. All right. We are going to do something. Well, we took Zimbabwe. We took their crown jewel. You know, I'm just going to disband you. Home, fortify. I don't know. Build a musketeers. Disband. Okay. You saw me run the Empire into the ground. You know what? He's going to want peace. We'll give it to him. Your civilization makes us laugh. We will agree not to crush your worthless civilization in exchange for the secret of metallurgy. If you don't have metallurgy, you don't declare war on a civilization that has it. You may be worthy to make peace with us. Yeah, that exactly. We've prepared a treaty for your signature. I will accept that treaty. We affirm this treaty of eternal friendship and goodwill. Eternal. You've betrayed me and I betrayed you. Who are we kidding? People of the Russian and the Germans. We welcome friendship with the German people and their most wise and munificent leader, Mr. J. I've never been called Mr. J. But, you know what? Declare war on the Aztecs. I don't have any contact with them either. It's just you and me, Stalin. All right, we need to get back to democracy so we can end on a high note. Let's end on a note of prosperity. We've crushed the Russians twice. This is the second time we've had to go in and crush them. You know, all this has happened before and will happen again. I'm sure there'll be a third time where we'll have to crush them, and a fourth and a fifth, and the Russians will be our eternal sworn enemies. That's just the way it is sometimes, you know? Change, build a market. Fortify. Just disband. Fortify. Okay. Huh. Well, that eternal peace didn't last very long. The Russians just attacked us. Okay, come on. This has been a revival of civilization. It's kind of been a rushed job. I didn't want to make another 1 hour video, although we're already crossing the 30-minute line. Kind of rushing through this. Hopefully it's coherent. I don't know if it would be. Build a Colossus. Disband you. Okay, here's what you do. Tax rate. 30% taxes. Watch this. Luxury rate. 50%. 50%. Here. Let's disband you. Come on, we want people celebrating. We love the President Day, celebrated in Jtopia. That's right. Built a granary in Awesome City and nothing. I don't know. Musketeers. The way you get them to celebrate is by having all these luxury people outnumber the other people and have no one discontent. This guy's upset. He's a protester. Sounds like we have another We Love the President Day, which is good. Central Hub 7. One of the founding colonies. Vegas. Well, they're always celebrating in Vegas. See, I just beat the Russians, which was kind of like blowing up the Death Star, and at the end of Return of the Jedi, all the planets celebrated. That's what's happening right now. It's sort of like this big multi-city celebration, and you know what happens when people party? They multiply. So our population is about to skyrocket. Take note, we're at 4 million. We were at 6 at one point, I think. Really drove us down with those wars. People got depressed. People didn't want to have babies. They fled our civilization, joined the Aztecs. You know what? I'm going to let the money run dry. Because what'll happen is just buildings I own will be sold. And I actually need to have stuff to build. I've run out, so have at ya. Let's bankrupt this in parte. Look, already Jtopia is up to 10. Mega City 1, nowhere. Oops. Whatever. It's not like this empire has much farther to go. New India. You're working too hard. People are upset. Jtopia's at 11 every turn. It's a 12. Guys didn't think we could do it, did you? Where's this? I'll disband that. If I could get rid of a couple of things. Are you going to capture Smolensk? I feel like Smolensk just got screwed. Yeah, they're going to take it back. They're starting cities there. This is like fighting a virus, seriously. Yeah, I'm very poor. That's fine. I literally have gone from 4.9 to 6.8 million. Yeah, they took metallurgy. I should have left a bigger garrison there. See, I'm not paying attention. Can we get to 8 million? Okay, here's what we do. Tax rate. Let's just end on a giant party. 100% luxuries. Literally, the government is sending you, it's mailing you PlayStations, Xboxes. You're just having a huge party. And this is what they do when they want a huge boost to everything. All right. Man, they really announce every single one with an animation. And see, this is what makes Civilization 1 cumbersome. You have too many cities in... I mean, how long does it take me to even skip to the next turn, even though I'm not even trying to administer anything? Civilization 2 did not have this problem. They clued in. We got 13, 14, 12... All these are doing well. Smolensk. Can't believe the Russians took that back. When I get nukes, they'll be sorry. When that day comes, whew, it's the end of them. 7.6. All right, here we go. Let's have 1 or 2 more turns. Not even going to change that. There's no point. 7.6. I think we're capping out. This is the last turn, so. Well, 7.9. Did pretty good. I'm going to stop there. This was just a revisit video. Turned out to be like, we're pushing 40 minutes, so almost as long as the original. That's how long it takes to fight a war in Civilization. So remember how I said the board game takes 8 hours to play? The computer game can easily take 8 hours to play. I mean, I'm not even done. I haven't reached the space age. I haven't engaged in the space race. I haven't even finished conquering this continent. These Russians are so virulent. I should have played this on Chieftain. Just plowed over everyone. Look at Awesome City, though. Let's revel in that for a second. Look at that. Just everyone's partying. Let's see the world. Wonders of the world. I don't have any of them. I didn't bother building any of them. The Aztecs, well, I built Magellan's Expedition. Aztecs built everything. Top 5 cities, though. Awesome City. Sounds like the city out of Lego. I think the top 5 cities really depends on having the wonders, so because I don't have that, I don't really list. But if you look at demographics, there you go. Here's the real victory. 77% approval rating. Highest population. Most GNP, whatever. Most manufacturing. Biggest land area. Highest literacy. Lowest disease. Lowest pollution. Highest life expectancy. 48 years. What year is it? It's 1840. So, whatever that means. Is that good for 1840? Biggest family? Or smallest? I don't know what's good. Military service, well, I'm pretty bad for that because I really have a large army, but I'm number 1. Germany is number 1, baby. All right, this has been an overly long return to Civilization. This is the first 2-parter I think that I've done, and I don't know, what do you think? I have mixed feelings about this. It was kind of fun to come back and show you progress on such a long game. At the same time, it took so long, and I feel like we had more fun when we were first playing Civilization. I feel like I kind of rushed this. You know, and I had to do that because it's such a long game, but I don't know. Did you guys get anything out of this? Did you enjoy the video? Let me know. Leave a comment. If you did enjoy it, give me a like or subscribe. If you didn't, leave a comment and tell me why you didn't like it. Either way, I'll be back in a couple days with a new video, with a new game. So keep an eye out for that. And as always, guys, peace.